سلام 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 Peaceful, 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 peace, peaceful, peace.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, assalamu alaikum. By now you know that means peace be unto you. This is a greeting that all the messengers of God greeted each other with, they greeted the people with, and we're greeting you with that same greeting. Peace be unto you. You won't find another group of people who are striving more towards peace. To have peace with their Creator, to have peace with themselves, and to have peace with their fellow human beings. Those are those who strive humbly to submit and to surrender to the one God, doing what He wants them to do on His terms. Those are the Muslims. You could be a Muslim anytime. You can do it right now or after the show. But think about this very important invitation. One man who we're going to be interviewing today, he accepted the call to submit and surrender to the one God, to do what all the messengers of God did. And that's Islam, submitting to God on His terms. Now, we're going to be talking to James, and we have a double treat for you. We have Sheikh Yusuf Estes. He's going to be interviewing this 85-year-old man who came to Islam, who came to the submission of one God, realizing that, you know what, I've been through everything, a lot of things, different things, and this is where I needed to be if I wanted to be successful. Time's running out. We might not make it to 85 years old. We might not make it till tomorrow. And this is something that we need to think about. The lights will go on after the party, and the party will end. And you will be alone, and you will have to be accountable for everything you've done. Life is not all about just chasing that man or woman or that good time. It's not all about the baseball game and the basketball game and chasing a position and getting a lot of wealth and money. There's more to this life. And it's up to you to be sincere enough within yourself and to want to know more. That's the first step. And then to ask the one who has created all this to guide you and to make things clear. That'd only be fair. If you wanted it, it'd only be fair if He gave it to you, wouldn't it now? And He's willing to give it to you. He's willing to guide you because that's one of His attributes. He's the most loving, the most merciful, and He's the guide. But you want it first to be guided. So we're going to see how this man James was guided, and Sheikh Yusuf Estes is going to be talking to him, and then we'll come back. So I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of The Dean Show.
Welcome to The Dean Show. No, I'm not Eddie. This is Yusuf Estes welcoming you to The Dean Show on behalf of Eddie and all the folks here at The Dean Show. Today's program is amazing and exciting with a lot of things happening. One of the biggest things of all, though, is an interview with a beloved brother of ours, a Muslim who came to faith of Islam in just recent months. And what's really interesting about this, he has spent more than 85 years on this planet in investigating faith, finding out about people, and we'll let him tell his own story. That and more is all coming up right here on The Dean Show. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. The praise to Allah, and we're now with our special guest today. We're with our brother James.
James, yes, 85 years of age. I just hope I'm strong enough to go through this interview. My throat has been giving me trouble.
Well, I was told that that's a brother just told me that's the gift of Hajj, is this special voice we get afterwards when we can't.
I believe so. Well, I'm not alone in this, actually. Most of our companions in the party are in the same condition.
So we're here. Tell us where we are. Where are we located?
Well, we're located in Jeddah in a rather nice hotel here.
Not very far from Mecca.
No, not very far. I don't know how many kilometers, but the journey time was about an hour or something like that. A lot depends on the traffic.
Yeah, it does. So why would you and I, be here in a place usually associated with Arabs and that type of thing?
Well, we're here as a newcomer to the Muslim faith. I'm bound to come here, if Allah wills, during my lifetime at least once. And I've been most fortunate with the people who have helped me come to the position I'm in today. And you're one of them, Brother Yusuf, to have this marvelous experience to come on this Hajj. It really has been. It's not been easy for me because I'm not as young as I used to be, and I'm not really, to be quite honest, used to a lot of crowds of people. But it's been worth it, and I've struggled on, and I think I've completed everything as it should have been done, inshallah.
That and more. I've been with you right along, and I'm sure that you've done that and more, inshallah. And now we would like to ask you a question. Through your life, now you're 85 years old, mashallah, and this is, many people never attain that age. But in your experience, could you give us a little background, some of the places you've been, things you've done?
Well, I was born in Scotland a long time ago. I have a middle-class family. My father was a doctor, but they were overseas in Nigeria, and he was overseas, and I didn't really see much of him, so I grew up with Scottish Presbyterian Christian relatives, and they gave me the background of believing in God and worshipping Him. And then complications came on in that scheme later on. I went to a Roman Catholic school, and I was confused and never really adjusted too well to what was then a sort of new religion to me. And then after the 5 years in the Air Force during the war, I went to...
Now, which war would this be?
The Second World War, yeah, Second World War, sorry.
1940s?
Yeah, the 39 to 46, I think it's finished at 45. After that, I managed to obtain a job with a large company in the Red Sea based in Aden, and spent a year in London learning the business, and went out there. And that was when I first came into contact with people of the Muslim faith, mostly Arabian.
Oh, so you're not a newcomer to meeting Muslims?
No, I worked with them. We worked with all kinds of people there of different faiths, but I learned something about the Quran then and the Islam at that time, which would be about 1949 to 1952 when I was there. And then after that I came back to Britain for a short time because my contract wasn't renewed there. I'd like to have stayed there, but in many ways Allah was looking kindly on me because a lot of my friends didn't survive the sort of breakup of the colonial days in the British colonies to what is now, and it's had a troublesome background. Then I went to Hong Kong for a short time, working in a business company there.
Now, were there any Muslims in Hong Kong?
No, I never met any Muslims. I was completely divorced from any sort of religion, really, by that time. But and then I went to Africa, to the Central African Federation, Rhodesia, as it was then called, now called Zimbabwe, and got a simple job, which is more to my suiting, with the health department, killing mosquitoes.
You were a mosquito killer.
I was a mosquito killer, and killing and dealing with the problem of schistosomiasis. That's a difficult word to pronounce, bilharzia, which can be caught from going into rivers. So I worked for them for a while, and then the federation broke up. It's a long story. We haven't got time for that. And I transferred across to the veterinary department and worked in tsetse fly control very successfully. Until I took and then the war years come on. I wasn't involved in any religious experience at that time. And eventually I got back to Britain, but then went back to Africa again. But in the circumstances in Zimbabwe today, I came back to London about 5 years ago.
I see. So now you're not a fly killer anymore?
Not a fly killer.
Just on an individual basis.
That's very true. But then I thought to myself, look, you're getting on in age now. Now, you've always believed in God, but you haven't been praying to Him or worshipping Him for years. So it's about time you got down and did something about it. Now, nobody forced me, but I always had a feeling that that Jesus is only a prophet, one of Allah's prophets, and I thought that there